Hi, welcome to the RG Synth Getting Started tutorial. RG is a groove synthesizer that goes beyond what a typical rhythm guitar player can do. In this short video, we will discuss several of the key features of RG, including the sound sets, sequencer, and synthesizer sections. Let's get started. First, let's take a look at how the user interface is laid out. By clicking here in the left upper corner, we can choose from the many different presets available. If we open the quick browser, we can browse quickly through all the banks and presets. There are basic groove banks for electric as well as steel string guitar, which are handy if your guitar player is not around. But the RG groove banks are the ones that make RG so special. In these presets, the synthesizer features and effects section are heavily used. More on these features in a bit. If you try out many different presets and wish to go back to one you browsed a few minutes ago, simply look in the recently browsed section to find it again. This saves you a lot of time. Above the presets, we can select the guitar type, which is labeled Model. Here, we can select a classic Fender Stratocaster guitar and also two types of steel string guitars, one for building 8th note grooves and the other one for building 16th note grooves. Also in this section of the user interface are the guitar stroke volume controls. Here you can adjust the balance between the different stroke types. The bottom section of RG is where you can find the sequencer, the heart of making grooves. The best way to understand how the sequencer works is to think of it like a drum machine, only instead of using bass drum, hi-hat, or claps, it uses the strokes of guitar to build the groove. For example, if I choose step 13, I can change it from downstroke to upstroke, ghost stroke, or glide stroke. You can also use a step to lengthen a stroke. In this example, the steps 14 and 15 are set to tie, which means that the length of the stroke at step 13 is increased. We can make it even longer by adding step 16, 17, and so on. It is very easy to turn a step off like this. Unlike drums, guitars do change from different keys like C major or F minor or A minor. Keep in mind that RG is a rhythm guitar groove synthesizer, so you can use major and minor chords to blend the groove into your music. We can control the key in which the groove plays by using different keyboard ranges. In the lower right-hand corner of the user interface, there is a built-in demo keyboard, which has 4 octaves for generating a groove in the proper key. Listen to these key changes. What you hear is that the groove is changing from D minor to A minor to G major. We control this by using one single note playing inside the correct keyboard range. The first octave on your keyboard is for producing major chord grooves, and the second octave of your keyboard is for producing minor grooves. The keyboard ranges are laid out like this. If you play a single note in the range C1 to B1, it plays a major groove. So when I play a G note, it plays a G major groove. When I play one single note in the range C2 to B2, it plays a minor groove. In the case of the electric guitar, it will play a minor 7 groove, which is the classic rhythm guitar way of playing. So when I play a G note in the second octave, you will hear a G minor 7 groove. But there is a little more to this. If you look more closely at the user interface, you can see that we use 4 octaves inside RG. You just learned that the first octave is major and the second octave is minor. If you play in the first or second octave, sequence A is playing, and if you play in the third or fourth octave, sequence B is playing. The third octave produces again major grooves, and the fourth octave produces minor grooves. This feature allows you to make far more variations in the groove. For example, I will first play an A note in the second octave, and then the A note in the fourth octave. Hear how the sequence changes? We can also see the A and B on the sequencer highlight depending on which groove we are playing. Sequences A and B allow you to change the groove, but these are not the only options you have inside RG. The moment you hit the note, whether it be the first, second beat, or fourth beat, as well as the length you hold the note down, can be used to build the groove or make variations. So, when you are playing around with RG, don't always start at the first beat. Experiment with other beat points and note lengths to craft your sound. The last part of RG's user interface is the synthesizer section, which is blue-colored. In this section, there is an analog modeled filter, LFOs, envelopes, and 3 effects, which are all easily controllable by MIDI, such as the knobs and sliders on your controller. This section is straightforward if you are familiar with other products in the Rob Papen line of instruments or synthesizers in general. Thank you for taking the time to check out this short tutorial on RG. As you can see, there are a lot of different features to dig into, so continue experimenting and learn how to incorporate RG into your music.